Wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy.
Hey, what up,
Grab
girl?
my glasses, I'm out the door. I'm gonna hit this city.
Let's go.
Before I leave, brush my teeth with a bottle of Jack. Cause when I leave for the night, I ain't coming back. I'm talking pedicure on our toes, toes. Trying on all our clothes, clothes. Boys blowing up our phones, phones. Drop top and playing our favorite CDs. Pulling up to the parties. Trying to get a little bit tipsy.
I'm smacked.
The opening sequence you just saw was an example of a platform that promotes party culture, known as I'm Schmacked, an online video series that showcases college party life. Over 20 I'm Schmacked videos have been produced on multiple college campuses and 2 Pennsylvania high schools. The creators, Jeffrey Yofre Ray and Arya Tufanian, claim that all alcohol and drugs featured in the videos are fake. They also claim that they are doing something positive to schools, saying, "I've had about 30 kids say they ended up at a school because of my video." They have secured a 2-year contract with DGI Management in New York that they hope will help the I'm Schmacked brand move into other platforms, with books being one. Partying can have many different forms, but for many young adults, the term is usually meant to describe social events that involve alcohol and/or drug use, dancing, a bunch of people who you may or may not know all crammed together in one space, and the night that you probably won't remember in the morning. This partying is often glorified and placed on a pedestal because of its widespread appeal and mantra of simply having a good time. The glorification of the party culture in America has very real effects, though, promoting underage drinking, out-of-control and unsafe binge drinking, and a lack of self-control. The public image of partying also has a very real, often negative effect on reputations.
Facebook is a social media site where people can post and share pictures, statuses, location, information, and so much more. With the spread of sites like Facebook, has come an issue of defining privacy and freedom of speech. Many employers have started to examine Facebook profiles of their employees and of people who they are looking to hire.
Tim DeMello, the owner of Ziggs, told CBS that he, as well as what he estimates to be about 20% of other companies, look at social networking sites before interviewing someone.
Also, many students seem to think that setting their profiles to private will protect them, but many companies can access these so-called private web pages. What are they looking for? Pictures of people at wild parties, drinking large amounts of alcohol, smoking and doing other drugs, and making sexual references, among other things. Some states are starting to wonder how constitutional these screenings are. Recently, California's Senate unanimously voted for a law forbidding companies from demanding the passwords of the networking sites of pending employees. Company managers say that they look at the networking sites to prevent harassment of their coworkers and feared that the new law would prevent them from doing so.
But the internet isn't the only medium used to glorify party culture. Take, for example, the racy British TV series Skins.
We drop bass in your face. We drop bass in your face. We drop bass in your face. We drop
Blowing up the place, blowing up the place.
drop bass in your face. We drop bass in your face. We drop bass in your face. We drop
Bass in your face.
The public flaunting of what goes down at parties isn't confined to YouTube videos and TV shows. It's made its way to the big screen as well. In 2012, Project X was released in theaters.
So, why does Project X matter? Does it have a real effect on society? Well, critics contend that the film depicts activities like underage drinking, vandalism, casual sex in ways that are glorifying the actions. They make them seem appealing to younger audiences. Critics also say that the film shows a lack of consequences and sort of shows this acceptance of illegal activities.
Michael Bacall, the screenwriter for Project X, has responded to the criticism by saying, quote, "Kids have been dancing and drinking and altering their states of consciousness for a very long time. and this is nothing new.
And now a little history.
Despite the prohibition of alcohol from 1920 to 1933, America still saw its fair share of parties. The jazz age of the 1920s ushered in huge parties all over the world, and the youth counterculture in New York City saw wide use of alcohol and drugs and inspired F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby. In the 1930s at Harvard University, the practice of swallowing live goldfish while drunk at wild college parties was introduced. The 1940s, 1950s, and 1960s had their fair share of wild house parties. The hippie counterculture of the 60s and 70s advocated free love and experimented widely with drugs. In 1969, the most famous music festival in history, Woodstock, took place in Bethel, New York with lots of drugs, sex, and nudity. The 1980s was the heyday of the rave, dance and electronic music, and hard drugs, which made their way into the suburbs.
Now, it may be nothing new, but never before has it been so explicitly shown on the big screen. Bacall contends that, his movie portrays teens honestly. It portrays their behavior in a real fashion, especially when it goes catastrophically wrong.
Project X has some severe consequences for younger adolescents, especially, providing them with a false sense of what lies ahead of them in their lives, and giving them the sense that a lack of self-control is fine and has no real consequences.
Let's be honest, not every party is a Project X party. And if they all were, would many of us still even be alive today? YouTube videos like I'm Schmacked not only affect individuals' reputations, but also the reputations of universities themselves. The series I'm Schmacked is actually meant to sort of help high school students in their college decisions, portraying some schools as specific party schools.
To those living in the Mid-Atlantic, Northeast regions of the United States, it's no secret that West Virginia and Penn State universities are the top party schools in the area, and that notion is supported by Penn State's 2009 ranking as the #1 party school in the nation. This isn't the #1 ranking that many Penn State officials would like to see, though. Here's former Penn State President Graham Spanier in his 1998 State of the University speech.
To put it succinctly, let me say to all high school students, if you are interested in Penn State because of the attraction of binge drinking, please go somewhere else.
But at the same time, some universities' reputations are so solidified that school officials are conflicted with how to deal with them. For example, here's Graham Spanier discussing the school's #1 ranking in the fall of 2009 at a faculty senate meeting.
We've never said we don't want our students to have fun. I mean, when people talk about, oh, Penn State's a party school, I'm not, that doesn't bother me at all, actually. I wish we weren't ranked #1. So it's a bit of a problem that we inherit, but we also have a cultural environment here, an atmosphere that fosters it.